like a home addition project that has a bathroom, a kitchen, and a few rooms.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of decision-making factors are closer to like 250. Repair work, it's like you hired me, but then I hire a different general contractor to go to do the work. The value is not the same as if you hired me to do a kitchen remodel, and there's a lot of moving parts where if you just hired some random person or a random even craftsman that's good at their work but they're not good at organizing. Like a kitchen has between 30 and 100 and 80 different like decision making factors that affect the cost, the design. So there's a lot of different decisions that go into making sure that the project looks great. So even if a person is good at doing work, like making good installs, making sure lines are perfect and whatnot, they might not have the administrative skills to be able to execute a project. It's kind of like a kitchen, bathroom, or you'll have to do your own interior designing, things like that. So there's a lot more, I'd say, necessity or help that I would say clients need in bigger projects because there's a lot more variables. Whereas when it comes down to much smaller details, all you just need is find a capable person to do it. Like a home addition project that has a bathroom, a kitchen, and a few rooms. I mean, the amount of decision-making factors are closer to like 250 decision-making factors, meaning those are situations where the client might have an opinion that might want things differently in terms of like what trim a texture we're doing, what trim color, what size will the trim be. That's just questions on the trim, and so there's like those types of questions for every aspect, every trade there is.
And so do you walk through that with them ahead of time, and you've got a checklist, and then when the labor comes, they can just execute?
That's the ideal structure. We get it all organized beforehand, and then once it starts, it's one after the other. We do consultations with the specialists that are going to be working on site prior to starting as well. So they look at the plan, they give us their feedback. So we try to get as much, I guess, of a complete visual or understanding of the project before we pull the trigger. So there's average build has between like 25 and 35 different specialties involved. So people look at that, it's like, okay, flooring, that's one specialty, like whatever, trim, doors, other specialty. So they think that it's like 10, 15 decisions and that's it. But once we break down every decision down to like the T of what they need to decide on, they're like surprised and they get overwhelmed. And a lot of times clients don't see the value in a preliminary management process because they're like, oh, we'll just make the decisions as we go along. But there's so much more decisions than they expect, and it becomes so much more overwhelming if they're just making decisions as you go. It's very difficult to guarantee that the project will turn out exactly how they want it, because like, you know, some tile is in stock, some tile is not in stock. You have to wait 10 days. Like, there's so many factors that'll affect the schedule, that'll affect the project, and at the end of the day, since a lot of clients are uneducated in that area, they expect that it's easy, and then when issues start to occur, if they're really pushing like a decide as you go structure, I feel like it causes the nightmare problems, projects that people talk about. If you ever hear that like some projects got extended X amount, or you know, twice as long as expected, like most people don't realize that decision making, how much that decision making process affects the schedule and the overall progress of work. And I think we try our best to educate our clients before we proceed, but you know, at the end of the day, the client wants to set it up according to their the preference, and then we're flexible with it.